we've broken out the Howell conversion cylinder again, this time with the full-size 8-inch Remington New Model Army Pietta. Let's take a closer look. Okay, so we got the old Howell 45 Colt conversion cylinder out again. This time the pin comes out pretty easy there, doesn't it? This time we have the 8-inch. It's a older Pietta. It's been down the street and around the block a time or two. He's a good old shooter. So the previous video on the Howell conversion cylinder, I did it with the shorter sheriff's model, the non-historically correct. And of course, that's not to say that some gunsmith didn't cut one off and make it a shorter version. But anyway, this is the full size one. This is the second one of these Piettas that I've had. The first one was an early 80s, and the overall frame was a little smaller than this one, which, as I understand, that was more historically correct, that the frames wasn't as big as these are. I don't know. I'll leave that to the historians. That's a little more than I know. But I do know that this Howell cylinder did not fit that gun. It would go in, the pin would go in, but it wouldn't rotate, it wouldn't lock up. And but the shorter, the sheriff's model Pietta is I think it's a 2017, if I remember. This one is I can't remember. It's in the 90s. It is a BD date code. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's in the 90s somewhere or another, but it's the same size frame as the 2017, and this fits it great. So I parted ways with the 80s model one that it wouldn't fit and went with this one. So, like the other one, I have two guns, essentially. We put our cap and ball cylinder in it. Maybe. There it goes. And there's our cap and ball cylinder, ready to go. Once again, half cock, pull your pin, rotate it clockwise, it comes right out. This one's empty, by the way. We just shot it. Rotate it clockwise, slide your pin in, there it is. No modifications to the gun. Nothing. I mean, we can go, just that quick, we can go from percussion to the cartridges. I don't know why I'm having to struggle so much with this. Oh, that's fine. There we go. Go in from the top. But like I said, this old revolver, he's I love it. I don't worry about trying to keep it pretty and not scratched up, and I carry him whatever, and he just gets beat up and banged up. But anyway, this is not about him. This is about the Howell conversion cylinder. Same one I had earlier, the 5-shot Howell. Just and these are cowboy loads. They don't recommend anything any stronger than a cowboy load. Uh, these are actually hand loads that I loaded with Trail Boss and my own cast bullets. I do use a pure lead bullet, just like for any of the round balls for my muzzle loaders, because this is a black powder gun, and which is why the Howell recommends not to use anything but cowboy loads, which is I think it's 800 or 850 foot per second. They recommend you keeping it below that. My hand loads are actually a little slower than the factory cowboy loads. To me, a factory cowboy load is pretty hot for these old things, and not as enjoyable shooting. And as I've said before, I don't. This is not a Magnum, and I don't want it to be a Magnum, and I'm not shooting it for a Magnum. If I want to shoot a Magnum, I'll get my 357 out that I have been known to load very hot. It's a Ruger. We'll do a video on it one day. And you know, and if I want to make my hand ache from shooting heavy loads, I'll get it and shoot it. This is just a fun plinker for me. And anyway, let's go out and let's shoot us some more. Oh, I think I mentioned it earlier. This has notches, cylinder stop notches in between the chambers. You can actually carry it loaded and set it in between chambers, and it locks up. If you look at that, you'll see it's in between chambers and it's locked up. Sometimes I carry it around the homestead like that. Sometimes I carry it on an empty. Speaking of carrying it on an empty, they also recommend not to dry fire these and snap it on these because each chamber has its own little firing pin with a little spring and stuff in there, and they say you can break the little springs in there, so don't ever dry fire. You shouldn't ever dry fire it anyway. You shouldn't dry fire these because you batter up your nipples. Anyway, as far as says, that's about all I got to say about that. Let's go shoot it some more. Howell conversion cylinder in a Pietta clone of a Remington New Model Army. As some people call it, the Remington 1858. Same cylinder I did in the other video with the Sheriff's model. Yet again, also because this is made for the Piettas. A lot of fun plinking, and if you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.